Hello everyone, this is Joseph Lucier here. As I mentioned to everyone, I will be away for a few weeks, and I wanted to give you something while I'm away for each Thursday. So I'm pre-recording this. It will be repeated a few times, but what it is I will systemically go through the entire body, so it will cover everyone. My goal is that we will still keep in touch by way of email and text and other things, whatever way you want to keep in touch with me, which is perfectly fine. But on Thursday nights specifically, and actually you can watch this at any time, this is going to be different parts of the body. So let's begin right away. Sit with your feet flat on the floor, palms face up, breathing through the nose, and just be comfortable. Activate the relaxation response in the vagus nerve, and we will begin. So let's start with this one here. And I have some notes here so that when people are watching, they can actually tell what area we're focused on. So the immune system, we begin with blood flow to the brain. Brain command points. Activate the brain to wake up and establish the brain wound connection. So that's step one in our general process, the way we even teach it. So remember, people that are watching this, this is a recording for everyone, but that is immaterial. Space and time with Tongren. If you watch it, you connect to the collective unconscious in your present time. No matter what I'm doing, I'm the trigger for you to connect. I'm in the past, but you're in the present, and the collective unconscious is available to you when you're watching. So part two, blood flow and nerve flow. So let's step back a little bit so we can see, for people that watch, vertebral artery to the spinal artery. So we always kind of do tune up C1 to C7. Then for inflammation specifically, T1 to T8. T1 to T8, so T1 for the bones and B cells, T2 the thymus for T cells, T3 for the lungs and the lymph. So for anyone with immune conditions, autoimmune conditions, infections, those types of things, this is for you. T4 for the skin, detox, T5 for the heart, blood flow, heart and pericardium for the blood flow and the bioelectricity of the body, primarily blood flow, blood pressure, and all those things. T6 for the diaphragm, which is oxygen or lung capacity. More oxygen, less inflammation. Simple enough. So I suggest everyone do an immune system routine, and the second one, the one after this, is an oxygen. Those two things are basically to remedy every condition in the body. Inflammation and oxygen deficiency, disease and cancer. So those are the two things. Those two right there alone are critically important. And then the next two we're going to be doing also, the craniosacral flow, which is a support, also good for bone marrow and for leukemias and different things. And then the fourth one is the endocrine system, which is the entire endocrine hormone system. So this is a complete body tune-up. T1 to T8, T7 spleen, which is for blood recycling, and a lymph node. T11 and T12 for the microbiome. 70% of our immune system is in the gut. So we focus on T11, T12, L4, and L5. So also connected to the immune system is the lymph system, because the more it carries away toxins, the better our state of inflammation lowered is. So we'll do that right now. Sky window. 6 parts for lymph focus. The neck, sky window for the lymph of the brain and the neck. The axillary lymph for the upper body. The armpits. And the inguinal lymph for the lower body. And CV4 for the lower dantian, the microbiome, and the true dantian, which is where all the dantians kind of go to and store to give us energy. So then we go down, grounding. Let's do some extra points. Stomach 36 for energy. This routine is also good for pain. For anyone looking at pain. Stomach 36, both sides. Spleen 6, the stomach, liver, and kidney collection centers for the meridians in Chinese medicine. Liver 3 and kidney 1 for grounding. Just like earthing and grounding while we're walking barefoot, we want to make sure that is also done. So that's the first set of the 4 primary things, the superpower focus for everyone to watch while I'm away. Watch it as many times as you want. So that's the immune system. As I say, that is for autoimmune conditions, immune infections, anxiety, and stress as well. So that is paired with the oxygen system, which is also critically important for it, as well as inflammation, reducing stress, but reversing hypoxia, which is a condition that causes cancer. So for everyone watching now that may be in any area of cancer, watch this one as well. Watch both, but this one is also critically important. So let's put up our notes here. So this is the oxygen system, inflammation, and cancer. So again, a 3-part process. So I got some notes there so people can follow along and tap with me. We're going a little bit more in detail, but this is critically important for everyone. Blood flow to the brain command points. Hypothalamus, pituitary, sensory cortex, and motor cortex. So these 4 is a great tune-up. And I suggest other Tongren classes. Monday with Jacqueline. I think nighttime, morning, Tuesday or Monday, I forget. Charlie Smigelski. Check him out. Those are a couple of my favorites. So command points of the brain to establish the brain-wound connection, because when that's reestablished, the brain can speak to the different areas of the body to give it instructions to get up to speed and do work, cleanse, recycle, cellular respiration improvements, bioelectricity networks reestablished. So command points of the brain stem. So anybody dealing with vertigo, dizziness, and for people like Augustina, remember this is a recording, but this is going to be fine. GV17. And we will continue with the recording while I'm away. So for any blood, 3 blood supplies: carotid artery, side of the neck, sky window; vertebral artery, the corner of the neck; and the occiput area, 3 blood supplies for any brain stem issues or brain issues, including brain cancers. Then blood flow, nerve flow down the spine. C1 to C7, T1 to T12, L1 to L5, S1 to S5, but let's focus on the oxygen points. T3 for the lungs. T7, T6 for the diaphragm for oxygen capacity, because that's the muscle that moves the lungs up and down. The stronger that muscle is, the more we can breathe. So grounding to part 2 of our process. Liver 3 and kidney 1. And then a detail focus on breathing the phrenic nerve in the sky window, because that manages the diaphragm that we just talked about. Common blockage is the diaphragm, is the actual phrenic nerve. Then lung 1, lung 2, special points for breathing in oxygen, the long thoracic nerve as well. And a really important one, through tapping or the laser, even used for asthma. This oxygen can be for breathing and COPD, all those different things. CV17. The laser is excellent. People use the laser there for asthma. And as much as we can, charge the battery. CV17 for this recording while I'm away. And grounding again to liver 3 and kidney 1. And there we have it. And then our next critical system, which is we do blood flow, nerve flow, and then we do craniosacral flow. Special focus for supporting all the nerves of the brain and the spine. This is the immune system of the central nervous system. Since we focus on bioelectricity of the nerves, this is critical support for that, and especially important for bone marrow and leukemia. So let's do that. So we've worked on the immune system, the oxygen system, and now the bioelectricity immune system or bioelectrical support system of the cranial sacral fluid. This is a rhythm, quantum biology of a rhythm in the body, circadian rhythm in the body, 6 to 10 times per minute pulse. Cool stuff if you can get that therapy. So let's do blood flow to the brain. So this enhances the 2 parts that we just did. Blood flow to the brain. palace, it's called in Chinese medicine. We have ventricles or pumps. So the one above the ear on the left side, pump ventricle, left ventricle, and the above the ear on the right ventricle, and the jade pillow, the ventricle on the back. These are 3 pumps. There's also one on the top, like pillows. This is amazing stuff. It is basically like salt water. We are in many ways like the ocean, and it has electrolytes and photons with information. And GV17, kind of the interface between the brain and the spine. So now let's encourage the flow, which is an equivalent of the microcosmic orbit of Chinese medicine, Kundalini energy of yogic medicine. This flow, and we call it basically craniosacral fluid. C1 to C7. Get that flow going down, and T1 for the bones, because craniosacral fluid supports the bones. Hannah Kreuger, when she worked on the tailbone, which we're going to work on as well, she was able to relieve 5,000 kids of leukemia by opening the tailbone. And why did that work? Because it opened up the flow, the proper flow of the craniosacral fluid. So we start with T1 and then T1 to T12. Lumbar 1 to 5. Just get that flow going. It's a circle. In Chinese medicine, the microcosmic orbit, the conception, and governing vessel loop, led by our breath. So for everyone watching, focus, relax on this flow up and down the spine to basically send photons and light and energy. If there are any spinal issues, any different things going on in the spine and the nerves and the brain, this is for you. Lumbar 1 to 5, sacral 1 to 5. This is the turnaround point, but it can also be disrupted by the tailbone. The tailbone adjustment is the actual adjustment that Hannah Kreuger did for those 5,000 kids, reversing leukemia. Tailbone 1 to 4, an extra point not commonly used in Tongren. Tailbone 1 to 4. And then grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Always grounding, earthing, free antioxidants when we walk barefoot on the earth. We can add in GB39 also for the bones and bone marrow, for perfect blood as well. Support the bone marrow and support perfect blood. Liver 3 and kidney 1. And that's the system. And then what we have is the endocrine system. So in the body we have communication systems, 3 primary ones: bioelectrical, craniosacral, and biochemical. Of course there is qi, which also flows, which is Chinese medicine system, the flow of biophotons through the nano super small tubules of the fascia throughout the body. That's the Chinese medicine system from a quantum biology explanation. So let's work on the endocrine system, the hormone communication systems of the entire body. So again, blood flow to the brain. It all starts in the brain, and this is also good for supporting the initialization of the endocrine system. GB 19, 20, 21, 22. And I will be back in May. GB 19, 20, 21, 22. Hypothalamus, pituitary, sensory cortex, motor cortex, which is initializing those two communication systems, the nerves and the hormones, bioelectrical and biochemical. So we're basically giving the entire body a tune-up, and we know the foundational communication links. So we access them through Tongren and distance healing to optimize, to really be efficient in what we're doing. And as you can see behind me, I have 3 canisters. Those are biophoton generators. Since Tongren is emitting, with our intention, we are transmitting biophotons. These 3 canisters work as amplifiers. Just as a quick side note. If you can see them, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we initialize the brain and the brain stem, GB17. But remember, the hypothalamus and pituitary initialize the endocrine system. So now let's go blood flow and nerve flow. And work on the whole spine. C1 to C7, but especially hormones, C6, C7, for anyone out there with any autoimmune conditions like Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, C6, C7, thyroid, parathyroid. And the best foods for the thyroid and parathyroid are iodine-rich foods like sea vegetables and cranberries, things like that. I put these words here sort of so we can follow, and as people are watching, they will be familiar with what we are talking about. And I may adopt this technique as we continue on the regular sessions. So T1 to T12, L1 to L5, but especially L3 for the reproductive hormones, ovaries and prostate. And down to liver 3 and kidney 1. And let's do a little bit of the thymus gland, another T cell generator. But we can work on the thyroid for anyone with thyroid conditions, superior and inferior thyroid arteries going to the thyroid. Work on the ouch point, Usher point. CV17, the T for the thymus. CV4 for the whole abdominal area, again, to complement the L3 reproductive hormones health. So CV4. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And if you do Tongren, this is a good technique. You can also do for clearing. We'll do this for clearing first. Then in addition, sit and relax. We'll do a Qigong transmission for you. Breathe in. Exhale through the nose. Put your mind in the lower dantian area, CV4, just below the belly button. Feel an expansion of light growing and growing. Okay, and we will do our wonderful Tibetan bowl healing for everyone. From the other side. Thank you for everyone for joining. Blessings. Be kind to one another. Enjoy the day. Again, this is recorded for all of you for your benefit. This is a complete system by system. It covers everything that we need to do from a systemic, holistic perspective with Tongren, and the details while you're working on it. And if you're tapping along for yourself, tap on your even more specific blockages if you like. So I will see you all when I return, and I will talk to you soon. Keep in touch either way. Many of you communicate with me through email and text as well. So take care now. Blessings to all of you.